great. To what users really think sometimes. One of the hardest things to achieve in a CRM project is user adoption. And over the years, I've had the opportunity to speak to end users and find out what goes on in their amazing minds. So some of the things that I found are up here on the screen. I'm sure it doesn't apply to any of your users, but some of these things are, I like my independence. It's my shoebox, not yours. Pay me more. My boss is a prick. Sales reporting steals time from selling. I take rejection and management doesn't care. Ever, imagine customer service, someone calls and screams at them, right? I hate technology. It's just a job anyway. If you don't like it, fire me, right? So think about that. These are kind of the things that go on from a user's perspective. The number one most important question for management to really answer, to really understand and answer well. You can write this down and take it back and think about it. And ask your management team about the same thing. Right there. What's in it for me, but from an end user's perspective, right? You have to think about it from an end user's perspective. What's in it? That's the first, one of the leading questions I usually ask when I meet with management at the beginning of a process to understand, so what do you think from an end user's perspective? What's in it for them? Why will they like this? And that forms some of the cornerstones of where we go in terms of how we design a system and put it together. For me, yep. Excellent. We're getting a lot of wishes granted here. Okay, so now we move on to the most important part of energizing your CRM system, and that is to make sure that users really love it. Number one, easy for me to use, intuitive, and well-trained. Here's some key points in terms of what end users are looking for. The system must be customized to provide optimum value and performance for reps. The silliest thing I've ever seen in my life done in CRM is to buy a stock CRM and roll it out to your users with nothing in it. It's just completely silly. It's, you say, okay, here's your customer database, start typing. And users go like, what? There's no data in here, there's nothing, this doesn't mean anything to me, it's completely disconnected. So your goal to get end user adoption is to make sure that it really fits them so they can step right into it, they can start using it, and it just works. Number one is to make sure that you customize the system to get optimum performance and value for the rep. Number two, data must be imported from day one. So if data has to be in there when you do your rollout, the data has to be in there. Number three, training must be done in 2 stages. We just lucked into this as one of our methods through experience. The most efficient and profitable way to do training for any vendor is what we call bums in seats. Okay, bums in seats is to rent a room like this, have a pre-made course curriculum, and try to stuff the room with as many people as you can. Yeah, bring your end users, bring management, come on in, go to Scottsdale or go to, California for 5 days. It's fantastically efficient and profitable for them. They charge a big buck, bring everyone in, drag them all through the same course content. Maybe 20% of it might be applicable to them. That's the most profitable, but it's not the best for you. What we found better is to do customized training at 2 levels. First is to do training, a very quick overview when you roll up the system, maybe an hour, 2 hours at the max, to just show everyone an overview of the system. And the purpose for that is to get them excited, get your users excited. This is what we have to look forward to. This is how it works. We use remote technology to connect with each user for, could be between an hour to 2, 3 if you need it, to work through CRM from their own perspective, in their own environment, at their desk, and get them started doing their job. There is, I hate to say magic, but there's something magical about that formula, because it really engages the user. In a big group, if I was doing training up here, maybe 10% of you would be checking your BlackBerry, 30% would be thinking about something at home or your kids or whatever, and you don't get that value from training. But if by doing in this 2-phase approach, it's tremendous in terms of its value and its user adoption and grabbing that. So things like CTIs, caller ID, screenpops, phone integration for automatic dialing, all those kinds of things. Reminds me of a call center I did for Sears a long time ago. to automatically dial all their customers, and they were selling extended warranty to their extended customer base. Those kinds of things, efficiency, that's the key. Any of those kinds of things you can do. And fourth is you must reduce duplicate work. If anyone even says to you, you've got to have 2 calendars, show them the door, out, goodbye. It's insane from a user's perspective. You have to have one calendar, and it has to be properly integrated and synced to your core calendar. If you want user adoption, if you want people to really use this, it has to be one core calendar that they're not jumping around between different things. So, when you do training right, these are just some testimonials from actually last year, different people that we've done training for, and how they're glad to know about attaching a document to the file and how they can do it. It's been extremely helpful. I just wanted to show you some examples of these. Refresher courses, as well as information on new upgraded items, was very beneficial. Different people. How to maximize the productivity of our local sales reps. Was extremely informative and showed me many tools I was not aware of. So done right, training really hits the ball out of the park, and it's great. Users love it. Number 2, rich current data at my fingertips, both in the office and mobile integrated. So with the story that I told you about Warren Buffett's companies, we had a nightly feed that would automatically feed in the latest data right into their front end, into their CRM system, so that it was always fresh and current as of the night before. That's critical. And I would say that's probably the number 1 value add for users in terms of what they find useful, is having that information at their fingertips. If you have any people, I'm going to mention mobile CRM here, because would any of your users use mobile, do you think? Anybody here? Some of them? Okay, it's starting to happen in the customer service side, but where it's really interesting also is we found that oftentimes if you have an outside Salesforce or customer service team or anything else, there's a tremendous pressure on the inside team, and it's hidden. It's a tremendous pressure on that team by the reps calling in to ask, can you look up this customer's name? You know, can you change this thing quick? I'm in a rush. Can you send this thing? Right? Anyone ever have that happen? Anyone see that? Right? So enabling your outside people or anyone with mobile CRM that they can see on their device and is current and up to date takes the pressure off of that back and forth with your teams. And it links, thirdly, it links the outside team to your customer service info. So if your outside sales team is going into a customer and just 2 days ago there was a major blow up and they don't know about it and they sail right in there and they could be completely blindsided by that without knowing. So it gives you the customer service information to your outside sales team to know that. Rich mobile functionality on the device is what you should expect now, is really good integration. So you type an email from your BlackBerry as an example, and you send it, and it'll actually stamp that to your CRM system. It'll actually record that to your CRM system. And what the benefit of that is, why that's important, is because it captures that information instead of it just being lost in an email. It captures it. It's in the CRM system, and everyone else can see it right away. Usability, mapping, all sorts of good, happy things there. Flexibility, so you can actually look up on here accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, customer service issues, all those kinds of things right on your mobile device. Really, really great for social situations, for even executive or other people that are out there. If you're in a social situation with a client and you just want to quietly look on your BlackBerry to see what's the latest and what happened, or look up someone's name or anything else, you can do that. It's right there. This is where social media fits in. I'm not going to do a lot on social media. I just wanted to point out that done right, you can fit social media. This is a tool called Inside View, and it takes social media information and it integrates it directly into your CRM. So right in your CRM, without going out, doing a Google or LinkedIn search or anything else, you can see all the latest information from a social media and what's happening out in the Twitterverse and all these different things. You can see it right here in your CRM system about the company, about that person, and it's very rich information that gives you significant additional power. That's a big win for users, actually. Lastly, on the user side, plan, execute, and automate. Ensure nothing slips through the cracks. So a quick example of Desjardins is one of our clients in Quebec. They had an issue where they were giving referrals to people in the branches, and they weren't getting followed up on sometimes. Sometimes things fall through the cracks. So we created a system with their CRM that would let them track when a referral comes in. It automatically sends an email to the person that's the rep saying, hey, you've got a new referral. Automatically sends a thank you to the person that gave the referral. Automatically sends an email to the person that's the target of the referral saying someone will contact you. And the best part, if the rep doesn't follow up within 3 days, it'll trigger or alert them. And if they don't follow up within 5 days, it'll trigger them and their manager. And it's really simple. And it just makes it easy. Oh, by the way, one other thing, when that referral comes in, it's automatically in the database. So they don't need to type it in again. It's not like an email they got. It's in their database already. So automate processes, just a quick note on that. So one other thing, let's take about 30 seconds and think about what processes would you like to automate. If you could do something like that, what would you like to do?
Live, sorry.
7.5.
So think about what kind of processes you'd like to automate. So, what the CFO and IT department wants is principally one thing. And that is to make sure that it works. That's their core focus, right? So as long as it works, that's the core, that's the most important thing. Additionally, you can bring your ones for this if you want to, but on time, on specification, and on budget, and data security. All those things need to be addressed, and if you don't address those things, you're going to have an angry IT department on your hands.